Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of the Spartan Dog Podcast.
Yep.
Today we have PIJ Manigoe and we have a guy back, West Coast Rel.
Yes, sir.
How you
Happy to be
feeling,
back,
bro?
man.
How you
Happy to be
feeling?
back, man. Happy to be back, ready to talk about all things Spartans. That's for damn sure.
Yes, sir. I've been trying to talk about it a little bit, but we're glad to have you back. And again, like always, thank you all for listening and tuning in. We appreciate you, and hopefully your weeks are going well. Almost
Yes.
to Friday, almost there.
Yep. Almost.
All right, but getting this right into the show. We're gonna talk about kind of roll off what happened last episode. Last episode, I was talking about the spring football. Also gonna sprinkle in a little bit of basketball today. Talk about what happened after the UCLA and where we go from there.
Hmm.
So to update you, Ro, when I talk about it a little bit, I was pretty much talking about the spring game and what I see for next year. So I was
Hmm.
pretty much saying we couldn't really see much in the spring game to like jump in the pool of opinion, but I want to hear what you saw from the spring game because I mean, again, I didn't see much from it. I couldn't see much to, jump to an opinion, but I did see some things. So
Yeah.
before I, repeat myself, I want to hear what you saw.
Well, what stood out was the quarterback competition
Mm-hmm.
between Anthony Russo and our guy, Peyton Thorne. So, in my opinion, with that being said, that in that competition that day, kind of even. It was more mobile, maybe are more ready for the schemes that are being ran now in the NFL and in college football, which is a lot of spread option. So I do he looks a little bit better in that spring game. But other than that, the guy I was looking forward to seeing the most because he had the most hype around his name. And every video that we seen on Twitter that had to do with the Michigan State spring practices, everybody was saying, watch out for number 9 because he's going to do amazing things on that field. And for that, the number 9 is Kenneth Walker III, the transfer out of Wake Forest. Seeing his highlight tapes and then seeing him in the spring game, I got a feeling of why they say he's going to be electrifying. He does have a quick burst. He's not as tall in stature, which is kind of helps him hide within the offensive lineman. I'm thinking. So
Yeah,
I do believe that he has that it factor that we've been waiting for one of these running backs. He's going to
yeah,
be
I
our,
agree.
our our every down, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So that helps even more for him to be a real weapon in this offense. And I think that the running back is what I believe is needed in this Jay Johnson offense. They need to
Yeah,
have play action work for them to be able to go down the field with Reed and Naylor. You know?
yeah, I agree, and I think it goes a little under overlooked a little bit, but I agree that having an elite running back or a solid running back that keeps the defense honest. So like I think before, like you were saying, we haven't really had that running back where defense was like, we got to take this guy serious. I think now we might have one again. It all depends on offensive line, but
Yes, it
we
does.
have a guy now on paper who we've seen now that's a lot more has a lot more juice than we've seen in the last few years. So that's going to set up play action. So when they have to watch the running back, when their linebackers have to account for the running back,
Hmm.
it's going to set up play action. And we have fast receivers, which we just kind of got recently. That was D'Antonio's last little gift for us. We got good receivers there. That was our blessing. And now
Yes,
they
it
can
does.
get open. Like they can legitimately get open. They have real speed. Like we're probably have the second fastest big receivers in the Big Ten besides Ohio State and maybe Penn State. But we have the
Okay.
top 3 receiving cores in the Big Ten. So like we have guys. So that play action is going to be vital for us.
Yes, it
I
is.
think that's going to set it up. And our offense for once is maybe going to be the strong suit, and that's going to lead us later on. So I'll mention that later though. But our offense might actually be our strongest asset this year.
I completely agree with you. I believe it in my mind it's giving me the most. I pay attention to it the most. Our defense is, I believe, is going to be okay. really we're looking for as far as defense goes is our weakness right now, in my opinion, is the linebacking core.
Yeah,
And a lot of our guys are coming. I believe that the transfer out of Tennessee, I forgot his name.
Quavarius Crouch.
Yes, I believe that he is going to be in the mix to playing pretty quickly, along with someone else. I don't know if anyone else. I mean, besides Chase Klein, who I believe should be in the linebacker discussions as well. He should be a starter as well. So I mean, I see. Matter of fact, I did see somebody who popped off my screen a little bit, who I believe is going to be pretty good, and it's the D tackle Barrow.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about him a lot.
I think he stood out to me. He got some push.
So for linebackers, for me, I actually surprisingly, I think that's going to be a shocker for us because I talked about in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have good rotational guys. Like it's going to take maybe a few games for them to really sink in. But so our linebacking core, I have like a roster chart on my phone here. So our linebacking core right now, I get bored. I do like a little mini depth chart thing. Let me go down here.
That's what's up.
All right. So our linebacking core was going to probably be Klein. This isn't stars, it's just who we have. So it's going to be Klein, Harvey, Halliday, DeMarzo. I think Hightower is going to transfer out because he's not going to make it. So and then we have Tank Brown, who I think is going to be pretty good for us. Tank Brown's a big guy. He's from Minnesota.
Okay.
Big dude, like a big guy. That dude's going to be a beast for us on the edge. Okay. And then we have Vince Sumrin, who might just be a rotational guy with Harvey in the middle, just that middle guy, that big middle guy, just to be there to stop the run.
Okay.
Quavarius Crouch on the outside. And here's where I think we're going to be good. So we have three linebackers who could start. Whoever you can mix them up, Crouch, Brown, Klein, Harvey, whoever you want to put in. But then we have Ma G. We have you can have one of those transfers come off the bench, and then you have Harvey and Halliday, who I think was all right. He can actually hit. Cal Halliday looked pretty good, and then DeMarzo, they've been talking about him a lot. So I think we have rotational guys that might be okay if everyone else does their job. So if Quavarius Crouch works out to be as good as everyone thinks, built to play, it's gonna help guys like Cal Halliday to where they could just be comfortable, come in and just do their one job. I don't think they're able to do every three other jobs like to what a starter's gonna have to do. Like a starter, they're gonna probably want the starter to be able to watch the edge, call audibles. If something goes wrong, adjust. I don't think Cal Halliday's ready for that right now. I think he just needs to come in, watch the edge, just watch your zone, and let the two starters do their job, If we have rotational guys like Ma gets in, that freshman out of high school, I think we can have a young, gritty core that could be productive. Not what we've seen from Michigan State because they're all young. Like, it's a new system.
Right.
But compared to who we play, I think our talent could just show up on linebacking core at least. I think they might be better than what we think.
I do too. I think that they might just redshirt Ma. I think they're gonna, because you get 4 games. You get 4 games before you can, officially redshirt, a freshman. So I like that aspect. I want to see what he can do, within 4 games. But you kind of want to save that. We've gotten so many transfers on both sides of the ball that. It really doesn't force you to play a freshman. But here's the thing about that is that everybody. The reason why I say the defense might be a little bit weak is because with all the transfers that come in, they have to learn this playbook. Mm-hmm. Now defense is mostly instinctive, so you just have to learn. A gap, B gap, zone, man, all that stuff has to be learned. But it shouldn't be as complicated as the offense.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you do have to mesh well with the person you're next to. You do have to, get the checks and audibles and stuff like that. And that may cause a little bit of a confusion at first to those transfers, the new people who come in and play. So it might take them maybe half a season, maybe even a whole season to get comfortable enough. So that's my only concern with that.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we got a lot of players. So if some of them can't, I don't think all of our cornerbacks aren't going to come in and just learn the system off rip. But I think we have so many guys, especially at cornerback, that only 2 cornerbacks can start. Only only
I
four
know.
cornerbacks can touch the field. So like we
I
got so
know.
many names that three of them have to work, and we
Yes.
already have Angelo Gross who's proven. Kalen
Mm-hmm.
Gervin got a lot better, so that's
Sure
two
did.
that's proven. So out of all those transfers, so we have one. We have, let me look on my list. We have one,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5 transfers at a cornerback. Actually, 6 with the guy from Alabama.
Yep.
If 2 of them work out and 3 of them just have to develop, that's still a big win for Michigan State because we have Xavier Henderson, Dow, and Snow, who are already on this team, who know the defense. Like, I think we're going to be surprisingly good. I really do. And Harlan Barnett also doesn't get enough credit. I know he's not cornerbacks coach, but like Kalen Gervin got a lot better when he came here. Like we thought he was a bust for a second.
Oh,
like,
for sure, we did. Trust me. Go back to our earlier podcast, and trust me, we definitely Kalen Gervin for sure.
And then Shakur Brown, like I'll admit, like I'll say it. I told some Spartan fans this. They were like, "Oh, he didn't get drafted." I'm like, "Well, because I think NFL scouts saw that he had 1 year of success, and the last 2 years before that, he wasn't nearly the same player he was this year. That last year, like I think
I agree.
The other years he was okay. He was, he was better. He was good for what we had as a standard. Like our backfield sucked. That's why Shakur Brown was there. Like, and last year, again, Harlan Barnett made him a lot better. Like you could tell Harlan Barnett tightened up their covers to where they got schemes better. Like I forget who was our cornerbacks coach before. I know they had Samuel there. They had
I remember
Treadwell guy.
Yep, there you go. And he went to Minnesota. Whoever that DB coach was, he's at Minnesota right now. I do remember.
I forget his name. Yeah, I forgot. I know exactly who it was. He's at Minnesota, and they sucked last year. So you know. I said that
why we got rid of him.
Paul
Yep,
Hayes.
You sure did. Paul Hayes. Yep, there you go. That's exactly right.
And I loved it. Like we shipped him off perfectly. Minnesota fell for it.
Sure did. They thought they was getting a gem.
Our cornerbacks got a lot better, and so here's my sleeper cornerback though. Watch out for Chester Kimbrough.
Yep, that's
obviously Ronald Williams isn't anything crazy to guess. I think he's going to be a guy. But bro, we're deep at cornerback. Like Angelo Gross is a dog. Kalen Gerving's good. And Chester Kimbrough is going to work out, I think. And I think the guy from Alabama, he's been good since JUCO. Like the guy can play. The only reason he didn't play at Bama that much is because he had an arm injury. And he still like came in and got his some time. He didn't have much stats to show for, but the only reason he didn't play was because he was banged up. Like he's going to be healthy, and he's playing in the Big Ten. Like we have SEC speed in the Big Ten now. Like we're going down Ohio State Avenue. We're trying to be a makeshift Ohio State to the best we can, and that's why I think Michigan State is out recruiting some teams. Like if you look at our 24/7, we are just they don't account for the transfers, but
that's what I thought.
They account for just the recruiting class. We're out recruiting Northwestern and Indiana, two teams that had significantly better years than us. One was in the Big Ten championship, and one was the runner-up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so we're making progress, and we have hella transfers that I'm excited to see. Like, not scrubs, SEC tags, like legit running back. Every position has been answered, so we just gotta see who shows up.
Then that shocked me the most. I was not expecting this type of an overhaul from last season to this season. I expected some players to come over, where we had weaknesses at. You know what I'm saying? So to see, 15 plus say, hey, I choose Michigan State over everybody else, it's kudos to the head coach, man.
That whole staff, man. The whole staff is crazy good. Like it's night and day from the old Michigan State. No offense to the ones that built this program.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a mural of D'Antonio in my room.
Yep.
Great guy. Coach that I keep forever. But I mean, this staff is making us into a legitimate big time program. Like we are legitimate. Like they're trying to make it to a national football program.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I agree.
These transfers, like. They gotta hit. Like I think we have so much. Like I get what he's doing. Like I love the NFL mindset. I've said it before. People laughed at me when I said we should have got Marvin Lewis. Mel Tucker is great too because he's a hell of a recruiter. He just got someone in the first round to the Green Bay Packers. That was his recruit, a 3-star guy. He can assess talent. Like he has an eye for NFL talent. Like that's what I like about the Nick Sabans, the Mel Tuckers. Like they were in the NFL rooted.
Yep.
That went to college. So they know an NFL player when they see one. Yep. Granted, it might not have worked out for him in the NFL, I don't think it's going to work out for Urban either. But you have an eye for talent once you've been in the NFL and you've seen what works, you know?
I agree with you. I think that what Coach Tucker is doing right now is the building block. You know, you're getting competition in certain positions. Running back, hell of
Raw
competition.
That's gonna be I think someone's gonna leave, which sucks. But I think someone has to go, bro. It sucks. It really does. I like Hayward. I think Hayward's gonna stay because he's old. He's gonna get his last
for
year.
no reason, though.
I think he's good. Look, bro, hear me out. Now, hear me out.
Yeah, come on.
I think for 1 year, for once in Hayward's career, I know a lot of people make excuses for him, but for once in Hayward's career, I think that he actually gets to just be himself and not have to go outside of who he is. You know what I mean?
And what is that? What is his stuff?
I think he's a utility player. You know, like, for example, like in Mark D'Antonio's years or the old years, he was used as a wholesome, full meal back.
Right.
Let's be honest. Hayward's not a full meal back. He's not someone you can just line up, have him run up the gap, and make it. He's a utility guy that you bring in packages, you block, you know, pass out the backfield. And I think he can be that now because we have Kenneth Walker, to where it's not like, who can we give the ball to? Jordan Simmons is too small. Hayward, Elijah Collins isn't the same, so we have to use Hayward. Now, we have Walker, we have Harold Joyner coming, we have Jordan Simmons, who hopefully gains weight. I hope he doesn't transfer out. I like him a lot.
I like him too. You know, he has the most speed out of all the running backs we have.
Gain some weight. Just please be patient. Just wait for a year. I know you might not see the field. He might have to wait, but that's good. Like, just gain some weight. I think he's a little too small for Big Ten football. Just gain some weight, keep the speed, gain a little bit of weight, and you'll be ready the year after next. Let Harold Joyner break out. Let Hayward get his last year and just roll out. And then, you know.
Yeah, then you'll have a more better outlook for Jordan Simmons. So you're right. If you can wait one more year, you will have the opportunity that I believe you deserve.
So here's my question for you out of the running backs. Here's a hot question. Who do you think isn't going to make it? I can give you the list of running backs. It might be hard to think about right now.
No. Who's not going to make it, as in who's going to transfer out?
Yeah, like who's going to have to transfer out?
Well, I asked this: who is a junior and a senior this year?
I'm not sure. I think Walker might be a junior. I think Collins is a junior.
So it'll be Walker. You think Joyner's going to play? You think Joyner's going to play?
I think Joyner's going to get touches. Yeah, I think he's going to get touches. Yeah, he's going to get on the field.
So if it's them two, Michigan State and then I've seen him a little bit more. I believe he's pretty good, to be honest with you. And that's unfortunate. And that's unfortunate that he has to go. I agree.
I think he's a Dobbins.
I agree. So I don't know. I'm praying in my mind. If you had to put a gun in my head, yes, I believe he would have to go. I pray Jordan Simmons doesn't go, but he might go. I don't know. I don't know anything about Joyner just yet.
I think that true freshman might have to go, bro. I think that Donovan Prem guy, I think it was a little too quick.
Yeah.
I think he should just tag out. No offense.
Oh, yeah.
Be like, look, bro, like I get you guys, I appreciate you guys, but I see you guys are moving quicker than you guys expected. Like, I think he's gonna have to just stop before he gets started. No offense to him.
Yep. No.
I saw his recruit sheet, and I was like, look, they just needed a name in the room, bro.
I'm about to say that looks like a D'Antonio pick to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I was like,
that looked like a desperation, like, yeah, I'll offer you right now, but yeah,
that bad stench. I was like, oh no, I saw that offer sheet. I saw Buffalo. I said, oh god, from Michigan. I was like, oh no.
Yep, you know how that stuff goes. So yeah, I believe that yes, definitely he has to go. Or if he doesn't go, then you're not going to see the field. I don't think he'll ever see the field. So
no,
he has to go. And plus, I look at it like this. And I got a question for you. If you were a guy that was on the last year team and you were a sophomore, now you're a junior this year, at any position, because Michigan State has just gotten 20 plus transfers, and you don't know who the hell is going to start, who's going to sit the bench. We have no clue about anything like that. So if you're one of those older guys, how are you feeling now that you see all this competition coming your way and you might not see the field next year when you thought you had a shot at seeing the field right now?
I'm glad you asked that, because, I mean, it's an elephant in the room, but you're kind of seeing it, because some Spartan fans, I've been a little weary about it. I've been listening to podcasts and some Spartan fans are like, I don't like that we're getting all these new players in. But how I feel is change is uncomfortable. Like not to get deep here, but change is
Mm.
uncomfortable. And the issue with Michigan State was the talent. Like the issue was some of those veterans in big positions. For example, Michigan State fans, I loved them too. Matt Dotson, we forced Matt Dotson to work, and it never could. He couldn't catch. He couldn't stay healthy. And when we put all of our faith in Matt Dotson and got no threats, no real tight ends to really like force him to stay healthy and work on those things like his hands,
Mm.
guys like Matt Sokol who just happened to work out, guys like
Right.
Seibert who just he got hurt, so Seibert just had to come in.
Mm.
Now, we got good tight ends there, and like you saw Tommy Guarjano transferred out. Like
Yep.
some competition scared people.
Yep.
That tells you what the issue of Michigan State was. Like players that are staying, like Noah Harvey. I like that. Like I'm like Noah Harvey, you're a great guy. It's only going to make you better. Guys like Jacob Panashuk, who instead of going to the NFL and being like, you know what, I don't know this coaching staff, I don't like them, I'm just going to go. He wouldn't have got drafted this year.
At
If he
all.
would have left, he wouldn't have got drafted.
Yep.
Maybe seventh round, but I still don't think he would have got drafted. Like he was smart and stayed. Like he liked the competition. I can name a lot of other cornerbacks. Like a lot of those guys. Like I mean Trey Pearson. Like you saw, he just booked it. He was like, you know what, I'll just go. Like you know what, I don't know where he's at. I don't even think he transferred. I think he
I
just
don't
said, you know
know.
what, I'm done.
Yep.
Like
That's a
those are the
good
kind of
question.
people where I'm like, we cleaned out. No offense, but we kind of cleaned out the trash to be in a sense. Like the players that didn't want that competition, the players that he didn't really kick anyone out. He just said it's compete to play, compete to stay. Like if you're not measuring up to what we're trying to do, hey, just go play in the MAC. And you
And
saw
that's where
well, a lot
everybody
of
went.
players went to the MAC. Like I said in our
Everybody.
podcast, like a lot earlier ones, like Rocky
Yep.
Lombardi was a Northern Illinois quarterback at best.
Yep.
Well, lo and behold, guess where he went?
Yep.
A
Put
lot of
them
our
right
players
back.
were MAC players, and it makes sense.
Yes, it does. And D'Antonio did the best with those Smack players. But at the end of the day, when everybody else is getting better around you, I believe that this is the best change. So now that I got your answer for it, it makes more sense to me. Like you said, change is uncomfortable, and you're right. You either gonna compete to stay, complete to play. And with that being said, he basically put competition at every single level.
All levels, yeah.
Every single body got somebody new in it, and they don't know who gonna start, who gonna not work out. Now, I believe that somebody is gonna come in here and maybe get that notion that they were supposed to start and maybe not, and then you'll see a few disgruntled guys. I believe by
Yeah, I agree. I think I think it's natural for that though.
who just pounce all the time. Man, he ain't giving me the ball, man. Forget coach, man. I don't care about this team no more. He ain't giving me the ball. I don't want to play here. Just that
yeah,
dumb stuff. But it's gonna happen to somebody on this team. With all these players coming in at once, it's just
it's bound to.
it's going to happen this way. It's unfortunate, but hopefully the coaching staff can handle it and understand that hey, we have to, manage some things a little bit closer because hell, only 11 people can get on the field at a time. So, and a lot of
Right.
those guys better be, fighting for special teams. Some of those guys that don't get on the field yet, you're going to be on special teams. And, I think our special teams should be a lot better this year, too. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think the wide receiver, like you said, the wide receivers are very deep. You
Very
know,
deep.
with Reed getting the number one, which I wanted to ask you, is that was that as significant to you as it was for me? And as far as to seeing the number one back, and
I, I mean,
do you think he is number one?
I think I think the number one again it solidifies as a big time program. Like we're trying to get to the market. Like we're trying to market ourselves out to the people and be like we got New Jerseys. We're bringing the number one. Like programs like Ohio State, Alabama. Like they brought out number one. Let's bring out number one.
Right.
And as far as Reed, I think Reed is very good, but I think Michigan State makes him a little bit better than what he is. I think we force him to be a little bit. I think he's a good player, but I think he could be a lot better. Like I think sometimes he drops some passes. I think he could be a lot better, but I think he's very good. Like I think he's worthy of number one for sure. I think he puts in a lot of work. He loves Michigan State. Like he's gonna be an X factor for us. Like when he gets the ball in his hands, he's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I just think and he's going to elevate next year, and he's going to make everyone else around him better because he's an X factor. Because Jalen Naylor and Jaden Reed are going to make everyone have to pay attention. And now we have
Yeah.
Ian Stewart, we have C.J.
Oh my
Hayes, we have
God.
T.J.
Yeah.
Lockett, we have Scary Terry
Come
Lockett,
on.
who I
You
like.
you forgot you
We,
forgot about the GOAT, Ricky White, man.
Man, but I
Ricky
heard
the
rumors that he might not be here. I heard some. I don't know how true it is. I read some stuff online that like he
Oh
got into some stuff
no.
and he might not be on the roster. I'm not sure. I don't know how true it
Oh
is, but
man.
I heard something happened, and Mel Tucker said he'll address it at some point, but I haven't heard anything about it, so it might be under wraps. But even if he doesn't
Mm.
play, like Scary Terry's good, and you know who I like at receiver?
Yeah.
Cade McDonald, bro. That white guy, 85. Every time
Oh.
he comes in, he makes plays, bro. Cade McDonald is cold blooded. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he gonna be the sleeper. He is
I'll
gonna
tell
be
you,
the
bro.
sleeper. The
Cade,
fourth
he
wide
made a
receiver.
nasty one-handed catch, and every video I've seen, he makes a nasty catch. And in
Yeah.
the Michigan game, he's like a quick guy. Like they put it on a rotation, and he just makes a quick catch out of the back, and he can just go, bro. Like I like Cade McDonald a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I think him and Ian Stewart. Ian Stewart made a great play in the spring game that I was like, okay, I see this young cat want to come in here and do something. So for me, I think that Michigan State as a whole is a question mark. As far as what the season is going to go, I think it's going to go good. I believe we're gonna win more than 2 games. I
Yeah,
can bet a lot of money on that.
yeah,
We're going to win way more than 2 games, and I'm going to make another bold prediction right now. Next year we will beat Michigan again
I agree.
at our home. We will beat them once more.
I think it'll be handily too. I don't think it's going to be close, and I
I
think Michigan will
agree.
be bad next year.
They will
I'm not just
be
saying it.
yes, they will be bad. They will be, I don't think they have an identity.
I'm scared for Harbaugh. Like at this point, it's getting scary. And like people, like I have friends in Columbus who are like, bro, I don't think Michigan State's gonna beat Michigan. I'm like, bro, we beat them down with Rocky Lombardi. Like we were
Oh
Peyton
my
Thorne
god.
away from really running them off the field. Like if we had Peyton Thorne in that game, bro, we would have picked them the hell apart.
Yep.
Like it would have been very bad if Peyton Thorne was in that game. Like Rocky Lombardi did. I'm like, bro, we're complete. Like we have an identity. Like we have our identity set. Michigan, they got a QB from Texas Tech who can't even keep a lead with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like this dude is bad, bro. Like I know exactly who their starter is. I don't know his name, but I've seen him on Saturdays on Texas Tech. He's not good. That's why he lost his job. Like in
Mm,
Michigan, just they have, like you said, they have no identity. They lost Joe Milton, who they put so much faith in. They gave up on him after a year.
they gave
Like
up on them.
they said, you're done. Gave up on Dylan McCaffrey after a year. After like not even really a year. This dude was a light switch. First he was working, then he wasn't. Then he was the future. Then he's not. So Michigan, I'm more worried about Indiana and Penn State. Like if we lose to Michigan, I'd be surprised. I'd be like, wow, man, this is we gotta focus a little bit more. Like we,
Yes,
we
we
lost
do.
we lost focus. Like if we lose to Michigan, we lost
Yep. That
focus.
was on us. There you go. If we lose to Michigan, that's on us. I don't believe Michigan is a better team than us. They're
This is
not
our
doing as
chance.
much. It is.
This is
This
our
is
chance
the.
to kill Michigan. Yeah,
Yep. This is the time. I
to
think that
kill Harbaugh.
this is the statement season. If, in my opinion, what happens this season will predicate what happens in the next few more seasons with Coach Tucker. I believe if he, putting his chips all in, and he's like, hey, we're gonna have. I believe we should win about 8 to 9 games next season. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I think we should be third place in the Big Ten East. Like, I don't care if if Penn State's above us. Like, Penn State might come back with some fire next year because they had a bad year. I
Yeah.
don't think they will because they lost a lot of X factors like Michael Parsons, a lot of like veteran guys that are like they didn't get drafted high, but they're pretty good. Like they lost the edge rusher, like they lost some names, and like they got to develop too, and they didn't get much transfer. So like
Yep.
Penn State, if there's any year to beat Penn State, it's this year. If there's any year to beat Indiana, I mean, it's Indiana. Michigan State should beat Indiana if we play right. Like Indiana's good, but I mean, they're not a team that's gonna just guarantee beat you. Like we should beat Indiana, and I think Michigan, we should beat Michigan. So I mean, we could lose one of those games. They're all good teams. I'm not saying no, we're just better than them. Like they're well coached teams, but we we got to get out with 2 wins in that. Like this, if there's any year where we could get out with 2 wins against that core of teams, it's this year. We got to take advantage of it, or else we never will. Like
I
like
agree.
Penn State won't be this bad forever. Like, they're going to get rid of James Franklin soon, and they're going to get probably Matt Campbell or someone pretty good. Like, so we got to take advantage of it. We got to kill coaches off now.
Harbaugh.
We got to beat Harbaugh. We got to kill Harbaugh off now.
It's his last season.
Yeah, like if we beat if Michigan State beats Harbaugh, Ohio State could beat Harbaugh. That doesn't mean anything because they know Michigan fans know that's going to happen. Penn State can beat Michigan because they go back and forth every year. That's okay. Mm-hmm. But if Michigan State beats Michigan, that's when Harbaugh's job. That's when the media is going to be like, you can't beat Michigan State now. That's back-to-back years. Mel Tucker has beat you. You got to go, Harbaugh. And I think he will go. Like, I think that is going to be to cut the head off. It's going to be a perfect way to send them out. And I think Mel Tucker's going to know it. Like, if there's anyone that's licking his lips and understands it, it's Mel Tucker. Like, he brings that Sabaness to him, and I'm happy with it.
I completely agree with you on that one. That is exactly the way I would think about it. You're right. If Coach Tucker comes in and beats Harbaugh 2 years in a row, that puts a nail in his coffin.
There's too many people calling for his job at that point. Yeah.
Oh, he's on the extra hot seat right now. This is his last year. I mean, they restructured his contract so that now everything is an incentive basically. If he wins a game, I think he might get a bonus. You know what I'm saying? So and when you have to do that to your head coach. After all these years he's been there, this is what it comes down to. Michigan is in a bigger disarray than I believe their fan base even knows.
Hey, here's how you know it's not going to work. He's turning into the one thing that Michigan fans make fun of. He's being Mark D'Antonio. How? Look at his staff he hired. He hired
I agree.
Josh Gaddis, who really Nick Saban didn't really sign off for. Like he lose. Like I was kind of getting pissed off with Josh Gaddis, so thank you. Like, I mean, he was going to be gone. He was going to get Gartesian anyway. Like, so Josh Gaddis, who doesn't know how to run the offense, again, he wasted another round of elite receivers. So Josh Gaddis isn't working out, and he's still there. Mike Hart is the equivalent of our other running backs coach, who really wasn't good either. Like, he's the equivalent of Dave Warner being the running backs coach. Like, he has no history of coaching running backs. He's never done it. He was like an equipment manager at the Indianapolis Colts. He wasn't even a coach there. He didn't do much. Indiana, I think he was a coach, but let's be honest, Mike Hart didn't make Indiana running backs better. Like, they either got a diamond in the rough or they weren't good at all. Like, Tevin Coleman had nothing to, I don't think he was even there with Tevin Coleman, but you know what I mean? Not. Like, so you have Michael Hart, who's never really coached running backs. You have a defensive coordinator who's brand new. So, like Urban Meyer said, you have to do a whole new defensive scheme with a coach who's not an elite defensive coach. He's not elite. Like, this is his first job running the show. And you have to run a whole new scheme with a defense that's already crippled by terrible
cornerback play. Terrible.
So,
they lost all their defensive and they lost all their recruits. Like, all their defensive recruits said, I don't want to come to Michigan now that Don Brown is gone. So
it's just bad. It's
super bad.
There's no way it can work out. Like, I mean, so, I mean, we'll see, though. We'll see how next year plays out for Michigan State. And I think, the whole conference. I think we should be
definitely going to have to
East. But, hey.
See exactly how this all goes. We're definitely going to talk about this more in our next segments. We're there. More football, more all that. We're definitely going to go down the schedule, predict our wins and losses next. I think that's definitely going to set it off right. I'm just looking forward to this next season. I'm just waiting on these months to go by so that we can get some football, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. So, hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Spartan Dogs Podcast again. We appreciate you all.
Yes.
I told them yesterday, I was checking our demographics and our scores and stuff. We got people listening to us everywhere. Ireland, Singapore, obviously the USA. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to be dropping out more content, trying to get on YouTube. But like I've been saying, we're going to try to do some Saturday drops. Got a lot of stuff planned.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on everywhere podcasts are streamed. Go to Spartan Dogs Podcast. You will see us there. Please go check us out. Go listen to us. Just support. Tag us in anything you want us to see, anything you want us to discuss, tag us all in it. We will definitely respond to everybody.
And most importantly, if you want to get on and have your opinion be heard, definitely get on. We want to talk Spartans. If you disagree, anything like that, let us know, and we can get you on and we can talk Spartan Spartan football and chat it down.
Yes, we can.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're almost at the end of the week. Let's all just make it West Coast Rel's back with us. It was great having you on the show.
Yes,
We're
sir.
doing many more, man.
Yes, sir.
Everyone have a great week and go green.
Yo, go white.